Hi, everyone. Welcome to the FMCG 90-day program. We're going to be starting in a few minutes. We're trying something new. We are at a conference in Salt Lake City, Nevada, and we're at an event. So we're going to do this live with a video. So I'm here at the stadium at American First Field. You can see it. It's where Real Salt Lake City plays, the soccer team. So we're here. We have an event inside, and then we're going to be starting the webinar in a few minutes. So we'll keep going. And what we're going to do is I want to welcome everyone. We're going to wait about 5 minutes because of being out here. We're going to play the webinar from last week, but we'll be here and we'll answer questions. So I'll be on. I'll answer questions, all the questions that you need. So Fernando, you'll be able to show questions, correct? Let's admit everyone that are coming on, and we'll start in 4 more minutes. So everyone come on in, grab something to drink, a piece of paper and pen, and we're going to start. So we're here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. As everyone knows, I'm based in San Diego, California. Our group is in Las Vegas, Nevada, but I'm in San Diego, California. So we'll be launching in 4 minutes. And then we'll open it up for questions at the end. We'll do the webinar with the slide deck, taking you and explaining it all, and then we will do questions afterwards. So it's about 40 minutes, 35 to 40-minute webinar. There are questions from last week that are in there. So some of them might be the same questions, but afterwards you'll have me live and I'll be able to do questions. So we have people coming on and we'll be doing the webinar. Everyone type in where you're from, where you're from in the United States, put in there, and what kind of product you're looking to launch. So come on, open your video, turn your video camera on, and type in where you're from and what kind of product you're launching. Oh, and put if you're a soccer fan. So this is an MLS field, MLS soccer field. San Diego has a new club called SDFC, but we're at Real Salt Lake City. We'll wait 2 more minutes. So go in and type where you're from and what product you're planning on launching. And we're going to be starting in 2 more minutes. Fernando, get ready to start at 5:05. So 2 more minutes. We'll start the webinar. But yeah, take a look. Beautiful stadium. We're here for a fun launch convention. See that over there. And if you want to know what fun launch is, we're advisors to a fund, the CPG fund, that's raising $20 million to invest in consumer brand goods, consumer product goods. And so we're advisors to this fund, and we were invited to participate in the fund launch. So that's what it's called.
That's what we do, but we'll do it either at the end or as I'm making the presentation. If there's a subject that they have that they want to not forget it, we'll be able to do it. So we have more people joining as they keep joining. Perfect. So everyone, thank you. Usually what I say at this time, while we're waiting for a couple more minutes, please go into the chat, tell me where you're from and what the weather's like. So we're blessed. We're in beautiful San Diego, California. It was about 75 degrees today, so we are fortunate to be here. So 75 degrees in San Diego. If you want to go in and tell me where you're from. Another thing we're doing, this is the first time that we're doing live. We're streaming live, not only on the webinar, but we're streaming it on Facebook, TikTok Live, LinkedIn, and our YouTube channel. And so couple of things about our YouTube channel. What you see today, the presentation today, will be recorded. It'll be on our YouTube channel, so please go in and sign up. Just put a like, and you'll be able to see all new content that we put on there. Second, our LinkedIn group. So what is Fast Moving Consumer Goods? We're a community. We're one of the largest communities on LinkedIn for CPG brands. We have 41,000 members. Matter of fact, we have about 3,000 new people that signed up in the last month, and they only allow us to add 200 a day to it. So I don't know how we're going to get through that, but my goal is to be at 50,000 people by the end of the year. I think we're on track to do that. So anyone on that's here on LinkedIn, go to the group Fast Moving Consumer Goods, apply. It's going to take about 30 days to let you in, but please do that. So we're a community of fast-moving consumer good brands. We do what we call a mastermind once a month. We do a live mastermind in San Diego, actually in Coronado. It's next Tuesday. So we can explain a little bit about what a mastermind is, and then an incubator. So I think at this time I'm going to explain what an incubator is. An incubator is kind of what it sounds like. We take brands that are startups, but we actually have brands that are $100 million in revenue. So they're in between from startups. We help them incubate and grow until they're on their own. So what we do is not brain surgery. It's not really hard, but you need a team to do it, right? So our team are encompass of veterans that have been doing this over 30 years, myself in the food industry, my partner Jorge in the beverage industry. We have a team that's been doing cosmetics for 30 years. Also now we just added in alcohol to the portfolio. So we have people in our incubator. We help them with either formulations, getting the product made. And again, you could be an ongoing company that just needs a new product, or you can just be someone with a new idea that wants to do it. So this works good. And then we also get them out of manufacturing to distribution and also D2C. And then throughout everyone's journey as an entrepreneur, we're always raising capital, right? So we have an investment banker on our team that helps raise capital. So we'll go through it. 30 years experience in the fast-moving consumer goods space. We've launched over 1,000 products, and we have public company experience, which we'll talk a little bit about. This webinar is brought to you by CPG Experience. Shannon, the CEO of CPG Experience, talk about incubator. He came up with a really good idea for those of you who have done a trade show, how much work it is and how expensive it is. For those of you who haven't done it, keep in mind, you will look at a show like the Fancy Food Show, or 2 weeks ago we did the NAMA show. They will tell you a 10 by 10 booth is $10,000. And you say, okay, that's not too bad. But then by the time you add plus, so a rug, a chair, a booth, different things to it, and then to bring your product in and out, you can probably, it'll double. So you'll be at about $20,000. Shannon at CPG Experience rents a big area, let's say 20 by 50 or 50 by 50, and he cuts up the areas in 4-foot booths. So you're there, you have a stand, you have your product behind you, you have your logo, and he not only are you there to present your product, but he advertises, he brings in buyers, he does email campaigns to buyers to come visit at the show, and of course your other 20 people in the area. When all those leads come in, you share those leads with those people. So you may be selling an energy drink, someone else may be selling a cookie or a pasta, and you get those leads from those buyers. So 2 of our clients in our incubator were at the NAMA show in Los Angeles at the Los Angeles Convention Center. The show was fantastic. We actually did things we never did before. We did live TikTok selling from the booth. It drew a lot of attention, created a lot of buzz for the brands. But also when we were done, now the heavy lifting works. We got about 380 leads that need to be followed up on. So the brands need to then follow up on those leads. But it was a great show. CPG Experience is our sponsor. We're very happy to do it. They do shows at least once a month, sometimes every other month, with they're inside the pavilions of other people. So they're going to be in San Diego here July 19th, 20th, and 21st. For the ECRM show. It's a beverage show, so if someone on the call or thinking about launching, if you already have a beverage brand, this would be a great show for you. Even if we started today, we will not be able to get you a brand ready to go but before the show. So it's the ECRM show, but CPG experience, Shannon would love to be able to participate with you. So I'm going to give a call out to Shannon. Thank you so much. So the anatomy of a successful product launch. You're looking at this, you're going, what the heck? Don't worry, it is complicated, but we have a blueprint that goes step by step by step. And if you follow this blueprint, you're able to do it. So obviously the foundation, as you can see on the bottom, is the most important part, right? The foundation. So we're going to talk a lot about the foundation. Again, don't worry, this seems like a lot, but you'll have this either if you set a call with us, we will share the deck with you, but also you'll be able to go on YouTube tomorrow and see it. So this is what we do. We take an idea to shelf in 90 days. So we have a structured blueprint. That's why it's as a blueprint. We're the architects. We help you do this. We take a 12-week incubator framework that's been designed by myself and Jorge. We've seen it done. We've done it 1,000 times, and there's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it. So obviously, we're going to go through the right way to do it. Take notes. This is recorded. Of course, if you're watching us, you can record us on TikTok Live, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, however you want to do it, but it'll be on YouTube tomorrow. So the reason you need a blueprint, 85% of all consumer goods in the first year. So that's not our statistic. That is Nielsen statistics. They keep track of and the reason is it's not because the founder was lack of passion or the product was bad and a good idea, right? It's because they did the sequence in the wrong sequence. So poor execution, incorrect order of operations, and the entrepreneur, since it's his first time, guessed, right? And you don't want to be guessing when it comes to real money and real time and energy for a product like this, okay? So 90 days to phase two. So it's in two different phases. We're going to go over them, but phase one is the foundation and product fit. And then phase two is the launch and exit strategy. And again, we're not exiting in 90 days, but we're teaching you all this in 90 days. So please get on, take a look, and we're going to explain this, okay? So main point number one, the trap of guessing. Right? Here's where we see a lot of people, unfortunately, we see them at the stress level, right? We see them or at the delay level, right? Because at the idea, that's the most exciting part, right? That's where everyone gets excited, but then they get in and then there's confusion, expensive decisions, stress, delay, and then we see them abandon the product. And that takes about a year is when we see that. And they've already spent about $250,000 and either have a prototype or some don't even have a prototype. So here's the most dangerous myths that when we meet founders and CEOs, they get on the call, they're so excited, and they have a myth, right? They think their idea is so good that it's going to sell on its own, right? That's how great it is. They also really, really focus on the product. Yes, you have to have a good product, but you also have to have a plan, a business plan, how to launch the product. And so they really work too much on the product. And then the other myth is probably the biggest myth that we see is they get convinced by a co-man or a co-packer, co-manufacturing, you can interchange those words, tell them that they have to buy a truckload of product to get a good price. And as we talk to you about our 12-week, we will explain that's not the way to do it. So here are the truths if you want to be a CEO and not a hobbyist, right? Great products fail daily, right? And a lot of reasons is because of margins, positioning, sequencing, not just the idea. If you hear about, we're going to talk about all the successes that you'll hear, but if you want to see about all the brands that failed, this is what we do in our homework. We ask people to go to a 99-cent store. We have them go to a 99-cent store, and you go to either the beverage aisle or the energy drink aisle. You can see all the companies that maybe invested $1 million and didn't make it, and now they're selling for 99 cents because an energy drink that's working is about $3, $2.99 or 2 for $5. If it's in the 99-cent store, it's because it didn't make it, right? your idea that it's such a great product that you don't need brand positioning, margin strategy, will guide the formulation. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And MOQs before the proof of concept leaves you with unsellable dead stock. And I can give you a whole host of examples that we've seen and we continue to see today. So main point number 2, the 90-day execution framework. Moving an idea to market strategy is foundation in IP. We're going to get into that. Your customer and avatar. Number 3 is supply chain mastery. 4th is brand and D2C, and then retail and raising capital. So there'll be definite, clear weekly milestones and defined things. So who leads the company? Who puts us on? We talked about all of our partners that are involved. I am the co-founder with my partner, Jorge Olson. We've been in the fast-moving consumer goods space for over 30 years. We've built distribution companies both in the U.S. and Mexico. Jorge distributed to over 17,000 stores, and we were the Miller Beer distributor in Baja California. So that was a lot of fun. One day when we meet you in person, we'll tell you all the great stories and some of the bad stories. But being a Miller Beer distributor in Baja California comes with its challenges and good things too, right? We talked a little bit about launching products, over 1,000 products. We've also written several books. Between us, I think we have over 10 books, but the books that you would be interested in is Jorge, I think it's on his 3rd edition. He did it about 20 years ago, called Build Your Beverage Empire. It's specifically done for beverages. Our newest book, which is called Wholesale MBA, was launched last year. So it talks about certain stories, recent stories, but how to go out and sell product, how to launch a product, and how to do it. So if you read the book, you will be an MBA in wholesale distribution. So we talked about launching over 1,000 products. People ask us all the time, what kind of products? So it's both in the food, beverages, supplements, and now in the alcohol business. So we help with formulations for manufacturing, supply chain, online sales, which is direct to consumer, wholesale distribution, retail sales, and also if you're curious and want to jump into the wonderful world of export to Mexico, we can help you do that. As you see here, one of our doctor clients is the iDrink, so I'm drinking it here. There's science, back science on the product. And it's for people who look at their computer more than 2 hours per day, which is probably all of us on this call. We don't want to admit it, but that's what it is. So that's the iDrink. Calmara is one of our energy drinks launched by another doctor, and then a line of mouthwash toothpaste from a local doctor in San Diego. So who have we done products for? You probably know a couple of these people on this screen, and maybe you don't. On the left is Rick Ross. We launched a brand for him a couple of years ago. That was Lou, who was our formulator at the time, who put this all together, and Jorge's in the background. I think I'm the one taking the picture. Snoop Dogg. We still formulate and manufacture products for them. This was at a trade show in Las Vegas. You can see me and Jorge there. And then on the right are Cheech and Chong. We're actually working on a new product for them right now in the beverage space. So keep you posted. So here's a infographic that talks about the way that would be done, right? So we talk about corporation setup and IP. I'm going to go into more detail, tax structure, idea evaluation, funding and tax engineering. Then we go into different things. So how it was done before, how we recommend doing it, and then all the way to an exit. So we're going to go into all of that right now. Fernando, how are we doing? Do we have questions? Usually they wait to the end to have questions. But I will go ahead and we'll keep going. So building the foundation. Step number 1, the most important part is setting up the right corporate entity. And especially if you're going to come into our incubator, we need it to set up correctly. So we recommend a C Corp, not an S Corp, not an LLC, a C Corp, and a zero state tax, a friendly state tax, which is not, unfortunately, in California. We'd like Wyoming and we like Nevada. So those are two states, but Florida works, Texas works, but we like those since we're close by. The reason we set up the C Corp, if you're going to go raise capital, which every founder at some point will want to go raise capital or will need to raise capital, or if you're in the incubator and we're going to raise capital for you, it needs to be in a C Corp. But also, the reason is because of Rule 1202. If you set it up correctly and you purchase your shares correctly, as a founder, when you go to exit, you will pay zero capital gains federally. And then depending on what state you are in, you would pay zero tax for that. So we know this by personal experience. We had an exit about 8 years ago, and so we used Rule 1202. Since then, we've learned that even though I was in California and I had to pay capital gains, there's now a new structure that I would not have to pay capital gains on that. But that's much more advanced later. I'm sure most of you are saying, hey, I just want to start a brand. You're working out of your kitchen or your garage, so we could talk about that later. The second pillar, which I think is probably the most important, is pillar 2, IP protection, right? You would be surprised how many people I meet that either come to us or I meet them at trade shows. We're talking about their brand. It's super cool. I'm asking questions. And then, at some point I'll ask, hey, tell me about the trademark. Who owns the trademark? Do you own it personally or in the corporation? And they kind of bow their head and go, well, we don't have the trademark. So, which is, shame, shame, shame. Don't ever launch a brand without owning the trademark or owning it, meaning filing it. So the reason for that is either two things. Either A, you're going to get a cease and desist letter from someone who does have it. So you already spent the money in manufacturing. You already have product. You're already marketing. You're selling, and you have to stop. Or someone smart, some smart entrepreneur will go check, figure out that you don't own it, buy the trademark, and then come to you and try to sell it to you, right? So obviously in our incubator, we have attorneys. We talk about what class you actually want to trademark it in. And then if there's a patent, possibly, usually it's not on the formulation. Everyone thinks they can patent the formulation. They can't. They could probably trademark a bottle. Maybe they can copyright colors, but the actual, they can't. So our attorney will help do that and then file it for you. And then last but not least, pillar 3 is tax strategy. So we help you set it up where you, with the new big beautiful bill, you're able to qualify for up to $500,000 in research and development credits. So I know a lot of people say, hey, I don't care about that, I don't make any money. But if you own an existing business, and this is a new project, which most of our clients are, they're doctors, they own a practice, they're able to do samples, they're able to do formulations, they're able to do a lot of things under research and development credits. They could take it off their existing business, or they could use it against payroll tax. So that's the new thing that's in there, which is super, super cool. So if anyone has any questions, please let me know. The next part, as you can see, we have not talked about formulations yet, right? Most people want to jump right into formulations, right? They call us, they want to hire us, they want to do a formulation, right? So that's what we see the most of, right? And as you can see, we're probably at week 3, week 4, we're still not at formulation, because what we ask our founders and entrepreneurs is who is the perfect avatar. If you have not heard what an avatar is, it's your perfect customer. If you could draw, or you could open a dictionary and see your perfect customer, that's the avatar. How old are they? Is it a man? Is it a woman? How old are they? Where do they live? Where do they hang out? Do they go to a gym? Do they go to clubs? Do they buy at 7-Eleven? Do they buy at Whole Foods? So depending on all those things, you need to figure out who that person is. And we have entrepreneurs tell us, oh, anyone can buy my product, right? Not true. So you need to figure out who your avatar is. Once we know who your avatar is, then we work backwards. So that determines the formulation, the sizing, the packaging, all those things, right? So there's where we come. We know what their pain points are, their purchasing habits, right? So this product was launched by a doctor. He was an optometrist that owned practices, and he would see young kids already starting to have eye issues. And so this was really designed for kids, but the mom would be the one buying it, right? So this is what he came up with, and that's how we decided on the size, the color, the price, what would be put in it, and so on. Supply chain. After we decide who the client is, and then we design on what the product is, then we could talk about formulation, right? Ingredients. Where are you going to sell it? Does it have to be Whole Foods approved, Sprouts approved? So they have certain things that they like in their product, certain things they don't like in their product. If you're going to be a health and wellness brand, at some point your goal will be to get into Whole Foods or Sprouts. So let's design the product the correct way. Cost, depending on what price is going to be, what size it's going to be, then we can figure out the ingredients. Does it need to be certified organic, not certified organic? Sugar, pure cane sugar, stevia, Reb M, all those things go into it. After we talk about the ingredients, then we got to talk about where is it going to be made, right? Where's the co-manufacturer? We always want a plan A and a plan B. People ask me why. Well, because we've seen it all. We've seen a factory where the factory burnt down. We saw another one where it got flooded. You're going to go, oh my God, that can't happen. We've seen it where a machine breaks down and they only have one line. So you always have to have a plan A and a plan B. And then also the co-man, why we're going to have a plan A and plan B. Some of them will say to you, hey, I can't talk to you unless you order me a truckload, right? So a truckload of a product like this is 56,000 cans. You might say, hey, I can't do that now. So there's other co-mans or co-packers that will do what we call POC, proof of concept, right? Which we could do 5,000 cans, 10,000 cans. It doesn't work in the COGS, the cost of goods sold, but it's a good thing to have. Throw it into your marketing budget so you can see, because 9 times out of 10, I know that sounds high, something goes wrong. So we have the formulation, or you have the formulation, and then you go to production and something happens where, if it's hot fill or not hot fill, something it doesn't taste the same. Or the color on the screen was different than the color that was here, right? So all those things can happen, and we normally make changes. So it's better to make changes on the 10,000 cans than on the truckload cans, right? Last but not least, 3PL. If you don't know what a 3PL is, it's a third-party logistics warehouse. Most people, to save money, they want to do it in their garage, or they say, hey, I have an office, I have a doctor's office, I want to keep it there. We always recommend 3PL for a whole host of reasons. Number one, it's insured, it's secure. Every night as you're getting orders, it's picking and packing and shipping. They have contracts with UPS, with FedEx, with USPS. So they're going to end up doing cheaper than actually you can do it, right? So a lot of people want to save money there. We recommend to do it. At a certain point, you're going to grow. You're probably going to need a truckload of product. And then where do you unload it, right? You don't have a forklift, so on and so forth. So insurance, all those things, you want to be in a 3PL. Fernando, how are we doing on questions? Anyone asking questions yet? Let's see in the chat.
There's no questions.
No questions. Okay. But I see people are from Texas, from New York, from Austin, Texas. So 2 from Texas. All right. Well, you got 2 0 tax states friendly, and then you probably have the worst state in New York, which is probably just as bad as California. Okay. This is the fun part where everyone really wants to get to after they have the formulation and they know the product. They want to start talking about the brand, right? We want to hear the story, right? We want to hear the hero's journey. We want to hear the founder story, why you came up with it, right? If you're going to have a brand, my son asks me all the time, hey, what does an entrepreneur do? An entrepreneur solves a problem, charges customers to solve a problem, right? So your product, your beverage, your food, your protein bar, your pasta sauce needs to solve a problem that the consumer has. Okay. So obviously you got there by being a doctor or working for a company or a mom who goes to buy food and there's too much sugar and things like that. So we want to hear that lore, that story, which then goes into the logo. Logo becomes part of the brand, then becomes part of the packaging, and then becomes part of the website and digital storefronts. Everyone says website. Most people don't buy on websites anymore, right? They're buying on Amazon. They're buying on TikTok Shop. They're buying different places, right? Then we have direct, advantage, starting direct. And then people ask us all the time. So our founders come to us after we have the minimal viable product and we're ready to go. They want to go straight to retail. And we say, hey, don't stay at retail. You're not ready for retail, right? They ask us why. And we have to explain to them that, one, there's a gatekeeper, right? So there's a gatekeeper. They're telling you, the buyer, he's going to tell you all the reasons why you're another Me Too product, or he's seen 100 of them, or he can't list new products to fall. All those reasons, right? You're going to hear that. And then let's assume we get lucky enough that we wait the year and we get in, and they place a purchase order for 3 truckloads, but now you don't have the capital, right? And even though they tell you that they're going to pay you in 30 days, they probably pay you in 60 or 90 days. Where there is no gatekeeper is where we talk about is TikTok Shop. So we're very bullish on TikTok Shop. We're going to talk a little bit more about that soon. TikTok Shop is there is no gatekeeper. You can go on, you can create your tribe, people that are following you, people that like what you're doing. You're talking to them just like I'm talking to you now. They get to know you. They get to see what you do every day. You can build your hero's journey from how you started to when you launched. All that can be done on your TikTok Live, and then TikTok Shop, right? So since COVID, that's changed everything. So when me and Jorge started 30 years ago, and we were selling an energy drink or a candy bar or a pasta sauce, we would have to go door to door and convince the buyer to do it, right? A lot of work, but it can be done, right? But it's a lot of work. Now, by going on TikTok, you're able to show it. There's no gatekeeper. You could set up tomorrow. You could start selling tomorrow. Oh, by the way, you get paid every night. So every night there's money coming into your account. You are charging retail. So you're not selling wholesale and distributor. You are going to use that gross margin to advertise and market. But what you're able to do is, what's interesting is what we've seen is the people that are scrolling through the TikTok are not old guys like me or Jorge. It's young men or women that are scrolling, and then they're seeing the product, and if they connect with the product or it solves a problem for them, they will order it themselves. And then what they'll do is they'll talk to you, they'll call you and say, hey, I want to carry this in my stores. That's a much easier sell when someone's calling you and saying, hey, I'm interested in this product, than when you're cold calling them, right? So there's where we see that the big thing is on there. You could change offers. You could talk to people. They'll text you. Like now I'm getting texts saying, hey, what about this? What about that? This we like a lot. Prior to this, if you're not ready to go on TikTok, my recommendation is, even if it's a prototype, take your product to a farmer's market. Yes, a farmer's market in your net, in woods. You're going to meet all kinds of people, old people, young people, kids, hippies. Everyone's going to come by. You're going to show them the product. You're going to try to sell it. They're going to tell you if it's good, if it's bad, if it's too expensive, if it's too cheap. That's where you're going to get a lot of your, what's the right word? Feedback, right? That would be step one before you go to step two, which is TikTok Live, TikTok Shop. But after that, then we can talk a little bit more about retail, right? There's going to be a point where you are going to be ready for retail, which is retail acceleration, right? After you've proven the model, we know it sells, we know it ships well, we know the price point's correct because we're going to test the price point. We will help you put together a buyer's presentation, right? We've done it 1,000 times. We work with brokers. We can negotiate slotting fees, road shows, all those type of things, right? Walmart has a special code that you're able to sell locally. That's a secret hack that we would teach you how to do it. Also, we sell to stores that people don't think of. So our iDrink is selling well in doctor's offices. So just imagine you take your son or daughter in, they had a checkup and their eyes aren't that good. They got new glasses, and the receptionist sells you a 12-pack of this, right? Great time that they take home and do it. So that's going really well. We're talking to vision store chains. As you can imagine, a 7-Eleven or a Circle K probably gets hit up 1,000 times. A vision store doesn't get hit up very much. The Kalmara is for the anime market. We are targeting comic book shops to sell there. And then last but not least is capital raising. So capital raising, at some point in your entrepreneur journey, you're going to need to raise capital. So it could be at the very beginning, which we call seed capital. You have an idea, you're going to go out and raise capital from friends and family. Those are people that believe in you, not the product. They believe in you, right? Because you don't have a product yet. Then there's, step two, we call it Reg CF. We play in this space a lot. you're able to, it's a legal way to raise up to $1.1 million without an audit. And then there's what the next step, which is Reg A. That's another way to do it. And then last but not least, an IPO. So we've been through all of these journeys to do that. So let me see if I think we had some questions here. Any good 3PLs near San Diego? Yes. So great question. We've tested them all. So obviously, I'm going to phrase this with there's good 3PLs and there's great 3PLs. And what's the difference, right? Depending on what your market is, right? If your market is truckload in, truckload out, there's people that are really good at it. They can load a truck and unload a truck in 25 minutes. Well, you're going to say, hey, that's not my business. Then there's ones that will hold a truckload of product and ship pallets. Then there's some that will take pallets and put 20 cases of each of your brands on a pallet and ship it out. Then there's ones that'll sell single cans and 12 packs. And then we have one that does kitting, which is taking a box, putting one product in, a letter, sending it out to affiliates or buyers. So the answer is yes, we have that, but also you'll see we have a list of pick and pack centers all over the U.S. But one that we use is there. Cost of implementation. Here's what we see. When there's the solo route, we have the entrepreneur. They're in the middle and they're confused. They don't know where to start. They don't know who to listen to. What we see a lot is that their business attorney is on the phone talking to us, or their CPA, and we ask them, what do they know about launching a brand? They really don't know anything, right? They're good lawyers. They're good CPA, but then, or the co-man is trying to tell us why their co-man is so great and why he needs to order a truckload. So it just seems all confusing. There's a step-by-step that needs to be done. So what we help you do is come up with a system operating like a CEO and not a hobbyist. So from legal, finance, CPA, product development, to then manufacturing. So let's talk a little bit about exits, right? This is the one that's been in the news lately. Kava was an investor in Poppy. If you think about 3 years ago, you probably never heard of Poppy. You've heard about it in the last 3 years. The one on the left is what it used to look like. So it looked like a medicinal product. I'm not sure I would drink it, but that's how they started, right? And then after this group came in, invested, this is what Poppy looks like after. They sold the company for $1.95 billion to Pepsi. They got $850 million up front and $1.1 billion in performance earnout. So it was 19.5% times revenue. So not EBITDA, not profit, revenue, right? So it means they were at a $100 million run rate, which is spectacular for anyone who's done it. It's a lot of hard work, but they did it. How did they do it? They did it with TikTok, influencers. They granted stock to affiliates, to distributors, to brokers, the whole thing. They had a ground war. They did a really good job. So at the show we were just at 2 weeks ago, we saw the Pepsi booth and Poppy had their own booth. And then because the deal was done so recently, they didn't have time to change everything. They had a little table with Poppy in the Pepsi booth. So that was pretty cool. I love this story a lot. This is Once Upon a Farm. Those of you probably seen TV commercials. Jennifer Garner. I met one of the co-founders about a month ago. They started out of a garage here in University City, so San Diego. Very nice gentleman, Ari Raz. I don't know if you're on listening, but it was a pleasure to meet you. I heard him speak. I reached out to him on LinkedIn and asked if he wanted to go to lunch, so I invited him to lunch. It was spectacular what I learned from him. Very humble, very great how he started the company. But one of the things he did talk about at his talk is when they were formulating the product, seeing what would work, they would go to farmers markets, right? So I've been saying that for 30 years, but he actually did it, right? So it started out of a garage. It did an IPO in the New York Stock Exchange at a $724 million IPO. So growth has been doing it. So that's a great San Diego local story. And then the next Poppy, which is Sal's, is a sauce. So if you will see that on there. I guess we have another question. Let me jump in there and get the question. Working on an all-natural prebiotic beverage, which requires production in small batches considering the shelf life. Does this fit the same model for distribution that you discussed earlier? And then, oh, here we go. I met Ari today. He told me to attend this call. Well, thank you. Thank you, Ari, and thank you, Radhika. Very nice to meet you. We would love to meet you in person. So Rhonda, let me answer your question, right? So it all depends on the shelf life of the product, right? So obviously, let's say you're in Austin, Texas, or San Diego, California, and your manufacturing's done there, and your shelf life is 30 or 60 days. It's doable, but you're going to keep your distribution to that area. But you could also do D2C, right? So you can do direct to consumer. You could send the product there because the shelf life, they're going to get it and they're going to get it right away. So obviously, you're going to need to work on the timing. You're going to need to work on small batches. That's a challenge to do, but it can be done. Think of yogurt. Think of different things that have a 60-day shelf life, right? 90-day shelf life. Your turns have to be done very quickly. But that is a perfect product to sell at a farmer's market. Let's see, 23, eliminating the friction, right? Here is when we talk to people so our market that people come on, we normally meet is they're a working professional, young man, young woman, 30 to 40 years old. They have a job, they have a dream they want to do, they want to start a brand. And usually what happens is that they say, hey, I have a full-time job. So working with us, if they come through and want to decide to work with us, we need them to focus 1 to 2 hours per week with a structured roadmap, right? We give you a little bit of homework, but not too hard, but it's 1 to 2 hours where we work with you and come up with it. This program is designed specifically for first-time founders. Even if you're on the call and you already gotten through and you already launched products, we're still very helpful when it gets to the minimal viable product. So if you're on, you have a minimal viable product, the next phase of that's phase 2, right? And then sequence prevents mistakes, right? So if you're in our incubator, we make sure that we go through all of the sequence so there are no mistakes, right? 12-week launch incubator. So there's 2 ways to work with us. We have what we call our VIP mentoring, which is most of our clients come in through that, where we work with them on a weekly basis. They have a budget. They want to launch their product. We help them with formulation, supply chain, manufacturing, legal, trademarks, all those things. We help them from beginning to end, and they stay with us. They probably stay with us a year. Most stay after the year because they like what we're doing and we're adding more services and so on. What we created is a do-it-yourself, right, program, which has a 12-week curriculum. And we could talk more about that if you were to join us and come on a call, and we could talk about it. So if you're an entrepreneur who just has an idea, this is for you, right? At the end of 90 days, you're going to have a minimal viable product. You're going to have a business plan. You're going to know what your next step is, right? So that's what's on there. So fast forward, let's assume you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking about launching a product. Fast forward 90 days, you would have your corporation structured. You'd have all your tax optimization ready you would have your trademarks filed. So what is a trademark filed? An IP. So if you see products where they'll file, so our attorney will work with you to say, hey, you say, hey, this is my brand. I want to do the iDrink, for example. I want to do the iDrink. He will look up in the dietary supplement for beverages. He will see if there's anything close to that. If he says, hey, I'm about 90% sure that this will go through, he will then go in and file. Once it's filed, you could probably go in and launch the product. You'll have what's called a TM next to it, and you can go ahead and launch and start selling product. Could there be a challenge? Of course there could be, right? Even if you own the trademark, there could be a challenge. But after a year, thinking about a year right now in the trademark office, you're going to get an R. So if you see the R next to it, that's what that means. Let's do this. If there's someone who's brave that wants to come on camera, either a new project or an existing project, come on, tell me where you are in your entrepreneur journey and what challenges you're having, and let me see if I can help you. Uh, Radik, Radhika, is that correct? Am I saying it right? You're on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Ari had great things to, say about you.
Well, thank you. Very nice. Thank you. So where are you in San Diego?
Encinitas.
Oh, very nice. I grew up in Encinitas, so
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. So tell me about yourself and the project.
I started my company about 5 years ago, and it's a passion of mine. I have, we have come up to our revenue is around $100,000 right now, annually, but that is like I did everything on my own. I need to now take it to the next level, and that's where I am. That's why I was meeting with Ari.
Yeah, well, congratulations on starting the company. You have to have passion because you know how hard it is. There's going to be some bad days, there's going to be some good days, and you got to have the passion, right?
Yeah,
So right now, the product. What is the product?
it's a herbal supplements company. We specialize in turmeric, and we grow our own turmeric that goes into our supplements.
I love turmeric, so that's great. So so it's a dietary, and do you sell it D2C? Or are you in any retail?
We try different things. So D2C mostly, but then we are at some doctors' offices, on Amazon, and then at Seaside Market.
Okay, love Seaside Market in Cardiff, right? The one in
Yes,
Cardiff.
the one in Cardiff.
So yeah, so obviously doing everything right, right? You need to scale. So for example, are you on TikTok?
No,
So
not yet.
we recommend every your story, right? So obviously you got in Seaside
Hmm.
Market because you told your story, correct? And they love the story,
Yes,
right?
yes, they did.
They
Yes.
probably tasted the product, right? So what you need is to be able to tell your story and get what are called affiliates. I don't know if you know what an affiliate is, but basically they're a salesperson, a broker that get product, and they so they say, hey, turmeric, it's grown and we love the product. Did I lose you? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So they're what are called affiliates, and the affiliates then sell your product. So what happens is you're going to start with 10, 20, 100. Maybe one day you're going to have 1,000 radikas that are selling the product, right? And they're saying how
Hmm.
good it is, how healthy it is for them. And when that happens, you're selling D2C, you're shipping, right? Because you can order right on the button, you're shipping. And then other buyers from other seaside markets in Tampa, and they are seeing it go, God, I got to have that product. When they call you, that's a much easier sell, right? But you
Yes,
did all the hard work. You did the R&D, right?
yes,
You did the launch of the product, which is hard. You did the labeling, and you got past the fear of going to knock on a door and selling to Seaside Market. So obviously in San Diego, there's Boney's. So there's a Boney's in Coronado. They seem to like taking what they do, so that's good. Windmill Farms, Sprouts. There's some franchise Sprouts, so you don't have to go corporately. You can go to a franchise and knock on the door and sell it, right? You're not afraid to sell. So to do it, is this your full time or do you have a job?
no, I quit my job 6 years ago to do this full time.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, and you're going to laugh when I say this, but you should probably do farmers markets because people get the
Yeah.
brand, they know the brand, they can buy it, they can see it, they might tell you to change something and do it. And then stranger things have happened. A buyer might be walking by and say, I got to have that for my store. So Encinitas, I think, has some good farmers. Little Italy has some good farmers markets. Yeah,
Yes,
if you have inventory and you need cash, we tell our founders to go sell at a farmer's market.
yes. The only problem is at the farmers market, usually it's the same people who come every week, right? So we have done the Encinitas Street Fair, we do the Carlsbad Street Fair, and we get great response, and that kind of helps with cash flow. But then that's like just twice a year, you know.
So let me ask you, well, that's not the farmer's market then. That's the street fair, which is much more
Yes.
expensive. The farmer's market, so in my area, I live in East Lake. There's one at the
Okay.
mall, and it's every Thursday night, I think, and it's very inexpensive. Vista has one. So you're selling, you want them seeing them every week, right? You want them coming every week to get to know you, because the first week they're going to
Okay.
go, yeah, I don't trust her. And then the second week, I don't trust her. And then the third week, hey, she's here. I love the story. And then they buy it. And so that would be my recommendation. But obviously, you
Okay.
need to scale, and farmers markets isn't going to scale. But again, we could talk offline. We have ways to scale. If you decide to come work with us, it would be good. Thank you. Hopefully, that was helpful.
Yes, yes, and I would love to meet you in person. If there's I can ask Ari for your email address.
Perfect, perfect. And it's in, you'll find us. We're on LinkedIn.
Okay.
We're everywhere. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Stella, I want to know if you work import products. Yes, Stella, absolutely. So, import products, we have a family company in the incubator. They have imported olive oil. So, the olive oil comes from Italy, and they work in there. So, obviously, you got to worry about tariffs. You got to worry about supply chain. You got to worry about all those things. Now, in the alcohol incubator, we have a tequila from Mexico. So, that's technically imported, right? It's right here, but we have to worry about it, right? So that answered the question there. So what, Fernando? Can you drop in the chat my calendar if someone would like to meet with us and talk about scaling your product, either launching a product from scratch or scaling a product because you already have a minimal viable product and you want to scale. Please join the calendar. What we don't do is, and I apologize for this, is that you say I have a great idea, I want to launch, but I don't have any capital, right? Our incubator, we help raise capital after you have a minimal viable product, you have legs, you get purchase orders. That's where the incubator really kicks in. But yes, you will need to have capital to then start a project, have a minimal viable product, and do it.
Hey, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for being patient with us. This is our first time doing it offsite. So we ran the video that we did last week. You got to see a entrepreneur on the hot seat, someone I've never met before, put them on. But here I'm available for live questions. Please, Fernando, can I mute you, or I can look in the chat? I saw a couple of chats. We have Stella wants to import products. I called the FDA and Agriculture Department. Very frustrating. Yes, welcome to the world of government bureaucracy. I don't know what they do in the offices. They're not there to help. We've done a lot of importation. If you remember from the last week, we import olive oil from Italy. We import tequila from Mexico for our clients. So we understand the import process on how to do it. So definitely we can help you with that. So if you're interested in launching a product, go ahead and launch it. Go ahead and set a time to speak with us. You remember, I'm here in Salt Lake City at the soccer field at Fun Launch. I'm here. Let's see. Another question. I did my trademark with my LLC. Can I change later to a C Corp? Yes, Walter. Absolutely. The good news is, thank you. Thank you for listening, or you knew to do your trademark. As long as you own the trademark, you can transfer it to a C Corp later. But I would look into doing a Wyoming C Corp, switch over right away, and then keep the LLC for a piece of real estate or something else. And Stella, you're excited for your dream to come true. We can help you set a time for us for there. So very good. Any other questions that we have? Would love to help you on any other questions. It could even be about soccer, right? Who's your favorite soccer team? But ours is SDFC for San Diego. So we're in San Diego, but we're here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah for a conference. We're invited as a guest to be an advisor to a fund. Rhonda, I booked a call for yesterday. Maybe we were traveling. Rhoda, I apologize, but we were maybe traveling. If you can book it for Monday, we will definitely be on for Monday. And I apologize for that, Rhoda. We will be on, someone will be on Monday with you. We'll be back in San Diego. Maybe what's supposed to happen when we travel is that it's not allowed to book calls. So Fernando, we should look into that. Thank you, Rhoda, and our apologies. Can I book a call? Walter, yes. If you go in, he dropped it in. I believe he dropped it in. Sign up for a free one-on-one call. Go to bookings. So it's up there. Go in and book for next week. There, we just read it again. Thank you. I'll book a call for next week. Yeah, so Walter, Louise, Stella, Rhoda, book for next week. Get on a call with myself. It'll be a 30-minute call. I can answer any of your questions, how we can work together. Be prepared with your brand, your go-to-market strategy, what's next, and we can help you. Okay. If that's it, if anyone has any other questions, I'll stay on for another minute, but if not, I could hear them calling us back for our meeting. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. We know your time's valuable, so we appreciate you jumping on. So thank you very much.